I guess that's the case. Well, CR, since it's Thursday night and it's Talk Show Incorporated, we have to get to our first segment, which is what is happening in the world.
Uh-oh. What is happening in
That's
the
our
world,
first
Landry?
segment. Well, this is, well, the one big story is that everyone's
that
getting
John
sick.
Prine died?
Yeah, John Prine died. That is depressing. Yeah, we talked about that for a few minutes with Hector the other night.
Yeah, that is the big story as far as I'm concerned.
It's a big one. Here's one. So a pastor in Louisiana said his congregation would rather die than miss church to hold Easter service with 1,000 people this weekend. Which, hold on, his congregation would rather die? Has he read the Bible? He knows there's only ever been one guy that's come back from that, right?
Right. The problem is he thinks he's the second one.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that's true. You know what? Actually, I was looking at this guy's this pastor, and he claims that his sermons actually cure cancer. That's what he tells people.
Okay.
Fun fact for you.
I have some swampland that I would love to sell him or any of his parishioners.
Yeah,
Holy
really.
mackerel. I mean, what's bad is I know most comics will tell you that they are atheists and they do not believe in any of that.
Uh-huh.
You know me well enough to know I'm actually a believer. I'm a Christian. I profess that. It does not bother me to admit that. However, every once in a while, the other followers look like idiots.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get having faith, but we also have a brain.
Yeah, the brain's a big part of it. You need that.
I mean, come on.
It's amazing how many people will believe something without thinking. You can definitely believe a lot of stuff in the church, and as long, that involves logic too.
Yeah.
People don't realize that, I don't think. What else is happening? April 8th, 2020 is officially the day that Bernie Sanders dropped out of the race, which means April 7th, 2020 is officially the last day I ever opened Twitter. That's big news right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Bernie bros are freaking out.
Yeah. Also, it came as a big surprise, I think, to a lot of people. I think I was actually surprised. I thought I'd give them their wish. I thought that he was going to be sticking out till at least
I
the convention.
expected him to, and the only thing I can figure is the COVID scare has him scared too, and so he knew he couldn't be out there doing anything.
Yeah,
and so he knew that he was basically going to have to give up.
Yeah,
and if he gave up as it stood, he stood no chance. He had to continue to fight to have a chance.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking that maybe that definitely. Also, he has the last 2 weeks has, they haven't really been campaigning, either one of them, because what can you do?
Right.
But he was using his platform to raise a bunch of money for people that were affected by all of this, which was super interesting. I've never really seen that done before with a presidential campaign like that. But also, I was thinking
there's been a cause to up until now. I mean,
that's true.
We haven't had anything like this in 100 years, and so we haven't been through an election cycle where we had something this massive going on.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I figured maybe he maybe it was kind of the idea of like, well, we could sit here and fight and force people to go vote in this environment, like Wisconsin. I don't know if you saw that. Wisconsin was a shit show.
Absolutely, it was.
People were standing in line, still not sure if the voting was open or not.
Well, that's because they were standing 3 miles away because they had to be 6 feet away from the person in front of them.
They couldn't hear anyone.
You have 12 people in line. You're a half a mile back.
Yeah. Here you go. We talked about this one the other night, but I brought it back, this story, just for you. Stanford University Radiology Department is planning on rolling out a smart toilet that can detect early signs of cancer. Now, if only it can detect early signs of me thinking it's a good idea to eat Taco Bell at 1 a.m.
Boom. Yeah, I like that.
That's the one I thought, Sierra needs this one.
Absolutely. I just wish it could tell me when I was going to be through. I mean, when I was a kid, it took me 3-5 minutes to poop. But now that I'm getting older, it's like, no, sit here a while. And when you think you're done, nope, you're not done yet.
Yeah, 3 to 5 minutes is really stretched to like an episode of Cheers now.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, the best part is now that I've got this technology, I'm learning Spanish on my phone.
Yeah.
But the easiest time to do that, the time I know I'm not going to be doing anything else, is when I have my morning constitution. So all I'm going to do now is think, every time I smell poop, I'm going to think, I can't think of any Spanish words right now.
Hasta la vista, baby.
I'm not smelling poop.
Yeah, you got to smell it. That's how you
see that, and that sounds so racist, but it's just a correlation thing.
I mean, I didn't think it sounded racist until you said that.
All of a sudden, Landry's going, "Wait, what did you just say that I was supposed to sound racist?" Do I need to kick you off of here?
Yes. By the way, this week was also the launch of Quibi, which is a new streaming service you can only watch on your phone and is 10 minutes or less episodes. So speaking of, your morning constitution, here comes a new streaming service that you'll watch, and it sounds like another name for taking a shit.
Yes, it does.
Sorry, honey, I gotta go Quibi real quick.
Yeah, give me just a Quibi. I've seen those commercials. I had no clue what they were talking about. So I assume it's from Australia, which means I assume a lot of the stuff that they will stream will be from Australia as well. Because all of the commercials seem to have Australians in them.
Well, you're right about that, and I don't know why, because I downloaded it. I've been watching it. They're offering like a 90-day free trial, and thank God, because I'm not convinced yet. But, Will Arnett is hosting a show. What's her name? Christy Teigen's hosting a show. There's a bunch of weird stuff. There's a bunch of dramas by big name direct. They put like $2 billion into like programming.
Holy mackerel.
What's interesting though is you can switch from, portrait to landscape seamlessly. The shows every show is built to be both, 16:9 and 9:16. Like you can just mid watching flip it and it doesn't pause, it doesn't do anything. It just switches to the correct format. I don't know how they did that, but it's interesting.
And you and I might actually have a career there because, if people only have to watch us for 10 minutes, we can be interesting for 10 minutes.
That's very true.
Obviously we've stretched that this time. Yeah. we're way beyond our interesting period at this point.
Yeah, we're just filming like 12 episodes of Quibi right now. Is that even what that... Yeah, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But Quibi sounds right.
That's what the commercials say.
Yeah.
The commercials are always like, just give me a Quibi. Just a Quibi.
That's so weird.
It is.
Giant Asian hornets are invading the U.S. that can kill you with a single sting.
Oh, wow.
There's not a joke here. It's just more of like, hey, you read Revelations, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, we have droughts in where was I just talking about? Australia. Sorry, I locked up for a second. That's not me. That was not my brain.
I didn't know if you froze it.
Computer. Yeah, that was the computer. We have droughts down there. Uh-huh. We have locusts in Africa. We have people being killed all over the place by this virus, and now we have killer hornets. I knew awful. A whore was going to kill me one day.
Yep.
I just didn't know if she had a net.
Oh boy. Ugh.
Hey, you invited me.
Yeah, that's a good point. I deserve this. Here's one. In case the world hasn't been through enough, Harvey Weinstein survived COVID-19. Oh, sorry, misread that. COVID-19 survived Harvey Weinstein.
It's now going to sue him for sexual harassment.
Yeah, COVID-19 later in an interview said, well, he said he could make me a star.
He said I'd be huge. Huge, I say.
A global sensation. I think I have one more for you here, if you want it.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently people still aren't taking this whole thing seriously. But I have a plan. If the media really wants us to pay attention to the coronavirus, they should use that old marketing technique, sex sells, and call it COVID-18 barely legal.
Or the R. Kelly version, COVID-15.
Yeah, that is the R. Kelly version. And very
Sorry,
different
that's a
symptoms.
meme. I stole that meme. I have no clue where I saw that meme, but I've seen that meme all over the place. So
all right. Well, I'll make sure you don't take credit for it then.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
But I like the idea. I mean, if you're going to try to convince people to do something, sex sells.
It
So
does.
That works.
Also, maybe never mind. But there's been a huge uptick apparently in like quarantine porn.
Really? What is quarantine porn as opposed to regular porn?
Well, I see. That was what I was wondering, and we're the two people that really probably know the most about this subject. If anyone should be talking about what's happening in the porn world, it's C.R. Parsons and Landry Miller. I think the big difference between regular porn and quarantine porn is that I think it's just, it's all in the writing. That's what I've always said about porn. It's all in the writing. I think if they just go,
absolutely.
Hey, we can't go anywhere. And then they shrug and then cut
now they have time for character development.
Yeah. Do you think
now we can find out exactly how that brother and sister ended up in the same room at the same time, both naked in the bed.
That's right.
Instead of just starting there.
I want a full 180-minute movie on exactly why that brother and sister ended up in the bed.
Yeah. Call it step siblings.
Sure. If you want to, hit that nail right on the head, sure. But yeah, so anyway, if you're looking for basically the same thing you could have been watching a month ago, quarantine porn.
I wonder, somebody asked the other day how much porn viewing had gone up with the quarantine because everybody's sitting around with nothing to do.
Yeah.
I said, I'll bet it's gone down because everybody's sitting around with their significant other and their family at the house. So they can't get away with watching it.
Exactly. It's less time watching it, more time trying to make it a reality. How awkward would that be, by the way, if you're sitting there with your family and you're like, oh no, I spilled milk on my pants. Or whatever the start to porn is. I don't think it's probably that. I spilled milk on my pants.
I don't know that there's a wrong way to start a porn. I think anything you say could be the start of a new porn.
You think they have do you think they have choose your own adventure porn yet?
Oh, I bet they do. I don't know where to find it, but I bet they do. Because they've got virtual reality porn where you can actually be involved. So
I didn't know that. That makes sense that they would have that. Porn is on the cutting edge of all technology, I'd say.
Oh, I think technology advances just to serve porn.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the only reason.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. The reason VHS was the dominant platform when they were looking at what tape to use, whether it was the 3/4 VHS or the 1/2 inch that they use in the TV stations or the Betamax. What won that was that VHS, the 3/4 inch VHS, was what all porn was coming out on.
Oh.
Beta only had a few porn things, and the bigger ones didn't have any. So Laserdisc, you
I was gonna
almost
say-
couldn't find porn on Laserdisc.
Just giant tiles that they're stuffing into machines.
I mean, seriously, all technology is advanced by porn. I'm convinced of that.
That's a good thought. Well, and I I wasn't alive when these were popular. I've always been fascinated by these porn theaters, because that is a really big screen to be watching
Some of
that
them
on,
can
don't you
be.
think? Huh?
Some of them can be. Some of them are not that big a screen. Some of them you walk into a little bitty room, you put
Oh.
your quarter or nickel or whatever it is in there, and it starts.
I'm sure it's a
like
nickel,
TV
yeah.
screen. Well, it was when I started.
Gotcha. Okay. And that is our segment. What's happening in the world? It always ends the same way.